So recently, we had to design and build a hidden bookcase that led into a speakeasy lounge, and it was for an Airbnb, and it was painted. So we use a plywood core, but with an MDF face on it, and it's a smooth and it's great for paint grade. But obviously, every time we do this, we have to put this solid. I think this is about 3/16 hard maple that we put on the edges to get a nice finish and durable edge on them. The the problem that we always have is the ways you can put this on, obviously with adhesive, and you can clamp it, but it requires multiple clamps. And the problem is that you glue this up and then you have your adhesive or your glue starting to run down the sides of your plywood. And this is especially a problem when you do using a veneer, like a walnut veneer or a mahogany veneer. You want to avoid getting glue on the surface, which requires you to do it this way, which is much more difficult when you're using clamps. Even these spring clamps that you can get now, that you press on to put this in place and hold pressure while it's drying, is also an issue. Regardless of what you do, even if you lay it down, you can have the glue running onto the veneer itself. And you can pin it, but even at 23 grade gauge, it's not going to have enough pressure to give a good joint. So what we did, we designed something where we could actually stand it up and where there would be individual pressure all the way down on the edge, on the strip itself. And while we applied the pressure, the piece would be sitting vertically. No glue would run out on the surface itself. So let me show you really quick how we built it. So here you have it. So this is 4 feet long. And if you're doing 8-foot pieces, you could simply just make 2 of these. And here we play around for a while finding the right springs for this, but they're all spring loaded pins. And under here, we have these threaded collars or couplers in the bottom. So what we can do is these pipes, these just 3/4, and you only really need 2 because your plywood itself is rigid. So as long as you apply pressure in 2 places, you're gonna have all of these pins under load. And these spaces here is just when you put your plywood up, it goes right in the center of this groove. And these are sitting just below the surface. So if, as you know, if you're cutting thin strips, they can start bowing, and that will keep it. You can press it in here and it will straighten it out while the glue is drying. And what we do is this, to keep this clean, simply put a piece of masking tape on it. So when it gets thrown in here, all of the glue will just sit on each of the side of this piece. And so you just put this in here. And on these, you don't even have to spread the glue. Make sure it's just in the groove. We'll just double check that we have material on each side. I don't know if you can really see, but you can see how you start moving down. And that's it. There's no glue running up on the plywood or the veneer. And this is the piece that I did earlier. And you can see absolutely no gap. And this thing is 4 feet long, so you can do up to 4-foot panels. And like I said earlier, you could just have 2 of these and have full extension. And obviously, the width of the plywood that you are putting edge banding on, if they're taller, yeah, you can just put larger pipe on it. So this thing has worked extremely well for us. And the beauty of it, we never get any glue anywhere on these pins or down in these grooves. And it's super easy to clean up. Just take it out, you pull the tape off, and whatever trim, flush trim bit you use, or however you choose to take off the extra wood. So this is how simple this thing works. Even if you do a 4-foot long piece, you only really need 2 clamps because the plywood itself is not going to bow. And these spaces here, you can move them up and down, and they just help put the plywood perpendicular on the wood strip. And that's it. Works great. Hope you enjoyed it.